Welcome, my lovely viewers. So we're here for the second part of the first segment where we discussed about the playoff brackets and how the schedules were and the teams that we felt were they had very high chances of qualifying to the next round. And we're here to talk about the Lakers and the Timberwolves. So, Hansen, I want to start with you. What do you think? How do they figure?
Ant-Man is a menace. Ant-Man. He said, that's a tech. That's a tech. That guy the word. That guy the word. You didn't see your puppy. They talk to referee, they took out.
You know they see anybody, Charlie.
But I think Lakers Minnesota Timberwolves game. The game 2 was one of the most physical games I've seen. Physicality. Because if you look at Timberwolves with Edwards, Reed, Gobert, Julius Randle, JD McDaniels.
My boy that.
Charlie, very physical. Against Finney-Smith, Hachimura, Hayes, LeBron. Like it's been a tough battle. Game 1, Lakers were blown apart. Game 2, Lakers came back. Game 3 is in Minnesota.
So where'd you put your money?
Well, I put my money where my mouth is. Luka Doncic.
Shawarma.
Because Luka Doncic, Luka Magic.
What do you think?
Personally, I think Timberwolves, they are actually a good basketball franchise. But when it comes to the playoff, the playoff is a different ball game, and we all know that when it comes to the playoff, it's different. And I think with Lakers, the only advantage they have over Timberwolves is the fact that they have players who can step up. So when you look at the Timberwolves team, yes, Edwards is very good. But when you look at the game 2, the only player who was able to step up was Julius Randle. You understand? McDaniels, Rudy Gobert, they weren't able to step up. But on a good day, you know that when LeBron steps up, Reeves can step up. Luka Doncic will definitely give you 22 plus points in a game. LeBron will definitely not average nothing less than 15. For the fact that Austin Reeves will also give you those figures. So I think when you have players stepping up, like during huge occasions like this, then you are good to go. And let's not forget, we have someone who has the experience when it comes to playoff moments, and that person is Ken LeBron. So I think personally, Lakers will do what they always do.
You know what I think? I think one deciding factor will be the whistles. Because if you check in game 2, right, teams actually have had more free throw attempts, but most of their players were in foul troubles.
Yeah.
In the first quarter, I think there was.
But I think Lakers had 20 out of 20 free throws.
Yes, there was someone had 4 fouls in 2 quarters.
Timberwolves. So I think it will be. I think it was McDaniels.
It was JD McDaniels, who is a very good defender / slasher and all those things. He brings presence.
Minnesota is a proper playoff team.
Yeah.
You see, they give me that bad boy Pistons vibe. They are a proper playoff team. You see, what they did to Nuggets last season was not a fluke.
No.
And Lakers actually had to step up in terms of their intensity to be able to beat them. Even that, they nearly blew the lead.
You know why I think that Minnesota is going to wash Lakers?
Why?
I feel like mentality. When you're going into a tie, like in sports, as much as it is important to prepare yourself physically, mentally you must be up there. And Minnesota is one of the teams who don't back down from any fights. Like they don't respect anybody, they don't see anybody. Yeah. And also, like what Hansen was saying, they are very physical. They talk a lot. They
hustle you.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
And throughout the season, it's not going to change. Ant has been the most doubled player throughout the season, and he's still one of the players who have come up clutch this season. Even in the awards, he's been nominated for the clutch player of the year.
Where eventually
Jalen Brunson has won it. But his ability to draw double teams and still make the plays count, turning into buckets and points for his team is going to be very is going to be a focal point in the Timberwolves play to actually beat the Lakers.
You know what you're saying is true, okay? But you know, there's the X factor about Lakers, that is Luka Doncic. See, what you are saying Ant is doing, Doncic does it effortlessly.
Yes.
Until you piss him off. You know, in game 1, Ant-Man will just give you the spider net signal, like, unlock you.
And you saw what he did.
But you saw what he did. You see,
12-9.
Luka Doncic, you saw what he did to this same Timberwolves team last season.
But no,
on one leg.
But you know that is a regular Doncic performance.
So Ant-Man has the mentality.
Yes.
But do the other players on his team have it?
That is what I said.
No, I'm coming. If there's a team, if you're going to go between Timbs and Lakers, between the two teams have a better mentality than the Lakers, because the Lakers, you're only going to talk about Bron and Jokic. I'm coming.
If you say mentality,
I say Jokic, Luka.
If you say mentality, I disagree. Do you know why?
Why?
It's because Timberwolves have embraced that underdog mentality. You know, when you're an underdog, you don't fear anything.
No,
you are going against a superior. I have nothing to lose.
No, they are not underdogs.
They are.
They don't have an underdog. You know.
Ant-Man said that the whole media and everyone is rooting for Lakers.
No,
but
yes.
Ant-Man said we're not supposed to be here, but we'll see.
Listen, no.
When you're an underdog, it's easier for you to.
No, he said that because that's what the media thinks. But if we are going to look at the players individually, the teams, they know they see anybody. There's no way they go into a matchup thinking that, I'm inferior to this team.
No, they always have that. Oh, of course. They have that mentality. You can have it, but as I said, when you meet and you are beating,
tell me what you think.
Let me ask you something. Last season, during the playoff, which team kicked Timberwolves out?
Oh, Dallas Mavericks.
Mavericks.
Who spearheaded that attack?
It was Doncic.
You know who?
On one leg.
It is Luka Magic.
I'm coming. That series, they didn't win one game. They didn't win one game.
No, they won one.
Minnesota, did they win one?
Yeah, they won. It was 4-1. They won one game.
I thought they were swept.
No, they won one game.
Exactly.
And then the second game at home, that was supposed to make it 3-2.
And who carried the Mavs teams single-handedly?
I'm coming on.
It is Luka.
I'm coming on. Don't forget something. Dallas Mavericks last season, it's not the same as Lakers. I'm coming. Bron will score you his 25 to 28 points, 30 max in the playoffs. Solid. He's going to do his regular things, but he doesn't have the legs in the playoffs, and we are seeing it. I'm coming. Defensively too, he has been lackluster.
That is why the
Lakers,
the Dorian finished. That's why I said on the fly adjustment.
The Lakers in general, they have a paint problem. Don't forget that.
Oh, that's why they collapsed the paint.
And they leave. But currently, I think this guy is really doing a fantastic job in the paint area.
Jackson Hayes.
Oh no, if I understand, it's true. But game 2 he was woeful. He was awful.
You see,
to the standard, I think he averaged.
JJ Redick to make on-fly adjustments to put DFS.
Yeah.
DFS finishment on there.
Do you know what? Do you know what Lakers can do?
What
they can do in game 3 is just to task a certain Jared Vanderbilt with maybe defending Edwards. Because let me tell you something. Listen. Listen. When you're talking about one fantastic or the best perimeter guard, the best perimeter defender in the Lakers team, you're talking about Jared Vanderbilt. You understand? Perimeter, he's very good. He's very good when it comes to pickpocketing. He's very good when it comes to clamps. You understand? And you want someone to take your opponent's, most offensive player out of the game. Probably, I think, if they're able to do that, because if you task Doncic with that job, Doncic is not really good defensively.
Do you know what? This is where the tactical side of the basketball.
There's no way that you can take Ant out.
You can't take Ant out. A lot of teams have tried this season. They've hard edged him. They've gone over screens. They've gone under screens. They've double teamed him. They've full court pressed him.
It's like saying
nothing has
someone
worked.
on Luka.
But I'm coming.
No, but sometimes you have to put
even Vanderbilt is not a starter.
Yeah,
he's not even part of the.
I'm coming.
To have that balance, he's not in it.
If you're going to be honest, there are only 2 reasons why the teams lost game 2. It was because one, Naz Reese shots were not falling.
That's what I'm trying to say.
And secondly, they got into foul trouble early. That's why I said that
in game 1,
one of the key deciders is going to be the whistle.
In game 1, they shot 50% from beyond the arc.
You understand?
Lakers has a paint problem. What they do is they collapse the paint and they invite the opposing team to what? Shoot more threes. Minnesota scorched them in game 1 with 50% from behind the arc.
Me seriously.
Game 2,
Luka is going to be Luka.
I feel in game 1, Lakers underrated Timberwolves. That is why they lost.
I don't think that's
listen, because
Timberwolves were
media.
simply
No,
better.
listen.
Let's give props to them. They were simply better.
That is
The
what the
numbers
media
don't
did.
lie.
You know that. That is what the media did.
That's what the media they do.
Listen,
No, that's what the media does.
Definitely, you know, it will get into some of the players. It will get into their heads.
I don't think with their experience.
With the experience.
I don't think that.
It's because of what they were able to do during the regular season.
But this is not the first time they are playing playoffs.
It's because of what they were able to do.
Season.
It's because of what they were able to do
on several teams.
They had
LeBron has been there. The starting five. Martino has been there. So
wait, let him talk.
They have Reeves, who has really improved this season, right? Austin Reeves. He's one of the standout basketball players for the Lakers franchise. They've gotten a certain Luka Doncic. You know, he's one of like when you're talking about coach scorers in the NBA, he's there. They have a certain player with player of experience like LeBron James. And during the regular season, they were able to climb the ladder. Do you understand? And they were, I think, is it a third or fourth?
They were the third seed.
Lakers were the third
seed. Do you understand? They were able to achieve something, fantastic. So to understand, I still feel going into the playoff, they felt, they'll be able to sweep Timberwolves. Do you understand? That is why Timberwolves were able to surprise them in game 1. During the game 2, when they realized that no, these people can do something, they upped their games. Yes, you talk about foul troubles. You talk about the fact that Timberwolves were missing, but it means they also did their homework.
So I understand. So the point is, I don't really agree with they've been complacent. Because it's not the first time.
Playoffs. They know the stakes.
If you look at the Lakers team and the Timberwolves team, we could even say the Timberwolves should be complacent. Because they don't have that experience. Finney Smith has been on several teams in the playoffs. Austin Reeves is his 4th year in the playoffs. Luka Doncic, LeBron, they are there. So if you said they were complacent going to game 1, with the experience LeBron has and Doncic, come on, you talk to the lads.
So sometimes it happens.
So all I'm trying to tell you,
your final words before we move to the Warriors.
So what I want to say is, in game 1, they were not complacent. Timberwolves were simply, see, you can be very good defensively, but when the team have their night and all their buckets are dropping, you can't do anything.
There's nothing.
Let's admit, you can't do anything. They shot 50% from beyond the arc.
But they did their homework.
Which homework?
Do you know what I'm saying? Lakers did their homework with game 1.
These are your final words.
Yes, in game 1, they lost. I think the difference was 117-95.
They were blown out.
Exactly. Game 2, what happened? They even dropped 94-85, but they were able to stop Timberwolves from adding more than 25 points.
They didn't stop Timberwolves. Timberwolves missed their shots.
It doesn't
There's
matter.
a difference.
Listen, if you are missing, it means I'm doing a fantastic job.
No!
It means I'm
How
wide open. We all know this.
Listen,
They were wide open shots.
Wide open shots.
How many wide open shots?
You know what the game
guys,
How many
hold
wide
on.
open shots are we talking about?
Guys, hold on. There's Warriors next. I want us to be quick with this one. Let's wrap up the Golden State Warriors. I mean, we are all Warriors fans seated here.
I'm not a Warriors fan.
I don't mind him. But whatever we're going to say, tell us, Hansen, quickly, do you think that the Golden State Warriors can actually, or do you think that the Houston Rockets have a chance?
They have a chance only if Butler injuries long term. That's my only fear now. Because with the way their physicality and the way they play, Butler is the bridge between that. I know you get what I'm trying to do. We've spoken about Butler on player, but we know what he can do.
Yeah.
And that right contusion injury he's had, I wholly hope at least he should miss game 3. Because this Rocket team, like, they are just annoying. You see how they play? Very physical. Şengün is playing.
Me, I don't call them annoying. They are cheats.
Yeah, they frustrate you.
They are cheats.
And they know how to manipulate the rules to favor them.
Oh, of course. Their coach is Emi Udoka.
Yeah.
Emi Udoka is
Did
like
you
that.
see the video where he was talking about keep getting to the paint? They're not going to call the fouls.
True.
Yes.
He just uses every opportunity
and
that he has.
and they know that the refs are not going to call the fouls.
But please, I know we are on this platform.
Yeah.
But for crying out loud, the ref should call fouls on Steph.
Yeah. That's actually
it is ugly now.
It's very disrespectful.
No, come on. They should call fouls on Steph. Clear fouls on Steph.
You know that he shot.
But you know that I blame Steph to an extent.
Why?
He has to do what Shea does. Sometimes he has to flop. It's true because that's the only way. It is true.
Yeah, I think
that is what Shea has been doing.
I've never seen Hagen in basketball on the court. They have
so you know.
What?
Yes.
Jelly really had him from behind. He yanked the shot.
Do you know why? Do you know why? Because they know Steph is very, very, very mobile. He doesn't stand on one place.
That's not fair.
So you fall in.
He has to flop. I mean, that is what I think. He has to.
So you see,
high screens.
You see, in game 2, right? In game 2, if Amen Thompson, that challenge on Butler, there was no flagrant foul call.
Exactly.
For that.
You know, the narrative is Draymond pushed Amen. He never
pushed him.
If you watch the video, I want the viewers to watch that video again. It's on YouTube. He never did.
Can you play the video for you?
Play the video. He never did. He didn't even touch him.
Yeah.
But the narrative is Draymond pushed Amen. So Draymond hurts Butler.
Draymond is
you see what they mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes that is it.
But
they are trying to say
that's really not fair.
They are saying Draymond pushed Amen because they are saying Draymond has hurt Butler. What kind of narrative is this?
And you know that Amen also used an elbow on Spencer.
And on Draymond.
Yeah.
But
Green also had an elbow on Draymond.
Listen.
You know what they called? An offensive
foul.
But regardless, I'm impressed because it's really difficult to stop the Golden State Warriors team. Well, I think sometimes their act is a bit dirty, but I think Ime Udoka is really doing a fantastic job.
That's for that one. Yeah,
because look at this crop of players, the way he's been able to assemble his arsenals, and they are doing very well. They are doing very well because you even look at this guy. What's his name? Dillon Brooks. He's a trash talker. What he did to LeBron a season ago, and he's really doing well. I mean, when it comes to the defensive aspect,
he's good
with the 3-point shooting.
He's good
also.
Until he meets a big dog. Forget him, maybe small boy.
If Butler was not injured, Warriors will sweep Rockets.
Warriors can still sweep Rockets. I said it earlier on.
Sweep.
I said it earlier on. When you have players. Or you have players who can single-handedly decide games.
You know Warriors them are problem.
No.
With two problems. They are not deep. They don't have a deep roster coming off the rotations in the playoff because you cannot rely on Kuminga. And the game 2, Pods was sick.
Yes.
He could only play 14 minutes. They don't have those guys on the bench anymore. Because if you check,
and this guy too has failed, Jackson Davis.
No, it's not his fault. It's a rotation. He's actually not his fault because I'm coming.
Again, there we go. Steve Kerr problem.
Because if you check Quentin Post, it's a stretch big, right? He's not solid.
But he's not a perimeter. He's not
he's not solid on the perimeter. He's not good in the paint. He doesn't protect the rim. You understand? That is what this guy can do. He just mentioned his name. My brain is frozen. What's his name?
Jackson Davis.
Trace Jackson Davis can do. So in moments, what Steve Kerr has to do is that when you see the trend of the game, it's not every time you need to get Quentin Post.
What about Iron Looney?
What is happening to
Looney? What is happening to Looney?
Tell me why Looney's minutes has diminished.
What is happening to Looney?
Butler, Moody, who are your scorers?
And the truth is, apart from Curry and Butler, the other players, they've not really stepped up. Where is Buddy Hield?
The 10-9.
No, I understand. But where is Buddy Hield?
You see,
Butler said if you take the host, you get pissed off.
You see, Buddy,
let's lose and go.
Buddy is a cone. The only thing he's good for in this life, Buddy Hield, if you ever watch this video, don't get offended. It's a 3-point shot, and you are very inconsistent with it. That is the only thing he's good for. He's a cone on defense. He doesn't read plays well.
He loses concentration. And then you need to be shouted at.
That is the Warriors' weak point.
He sleeps a lot.
He sleeps a lot on defense. And that's the Golden State Warriors.
Because when he came, he thought he was the next splash bro. But come on, Klay Thompson was miles.
To understand, I'm beginning to regret losing Wiggins because,
Yes.
Wiggs was okay.
At least.
Looking at what Hill is doing.
No, I think losing
Wiggs could be the POA.
Exactly.
Losing Wiggins for Butler, I think Kuminga and the rest should have gone.
Yes.
And keep Wiggins.
Because Wiggs
because from like the general like the organization point of view, he's running out of contract.
Exactly.
So he's going to walk free. And you didn't trade him, and he's eligible to a max contract next season, which he doesn't deserve. Golden State will not pay him that money, so he's just working for free. We could have got some good role players from other teams, because other teams were demanding him for a trade.
Yeah. So the whole point is, back to this Warriors Rocket. Trust me, if it's not for Butler's injury. Because I know Imi is doing a good job, but I'm not scared of the Warriors one bit.
But me, I still
You're not scared of the Rockets.
The Rockets one bit.
I still believe they can do something. We still have Steph Curry. I must confess, I know what Curry can do. 2 days ago, I watched Curry. I watched Curry playing with an inconsistent Klay Thompson. Listen, an inconsistent Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson, I've never liked you. An inconsistent.
Charlie.
And even Draymond Green wasn't as, when it comes to defensively, as he is now. And Curry single-handedly carried the team. So I know Curry can do it. Yes, maybe now he's old. So when it comes to mobility, when it comes to stamina and stuff, but I still trust him.
He still has to do, but
do it for me, do it for me.
We are wrapping up. Shawarma once chose Bradley Beal over Klay Thompson.
Exactly.
He's us.
But did you hold on? Did you see? Yeah. This week. The NBA,
no trade clause.
The NBA players, they voted.
Yes.
But then, they don't disclose their identity. They voted for the most overrated players this season. And Bill was in the top 5. Bill.
No, this season.
No, not just this season, but they vote every 55. Year. Every year. Last season.
I think he has lost his touch, but Bill is a good player.
Listen, he has a no trade clause.
Yeah.
So
I think I watched him when he used to play with John Wall, and he was really, really doing well. The only problem I have with Klay Thompson is the fact that he's inconsistent. There are some games.
Klay was consistent, but he's not your type of scorer. Because I remember the discussion we had.
Bill was supposed to be a
Shawarma, the discussion we had was Klay and Harden. You remember?
Yeah.
It was Klay and Harden, and
I chose Harden. Yeah. Now viewers will agree with me that I was right.
Solid. It was very. You were actually very spot on. But you see, the problem with Klay was that he was actually very consistent before his injury. It was after his injury, and then he had another setback. And then he came back, but even when he came back to the end, no. But even when he came back to play the ending of the 2022 season and getting into the playoffs, he was consistent in the playoffs.
Oh yeah, he was.
It's just that he wasn't as good defensively.
He was not the Klay we knew.
Okay.
Exactly. But after that,
I still choose Harden.
Fair enough.
Boston Celtics. Let's not forget.
Quick touch. I think that's going to get wrapped up, right? Boston Celtics are going to sweep. Done deal.
Mop.
Give me a brush.
Big.
Give me a brush. Give me a brush.
That pisses me off about the East. Last season, Celtics had it so easy to the finals, and unfortunately they met. Was it Dallas?
Dallas, yeah.
And they got the job done.
See, I still think Orlando, they have a fantastic team, but they are now coming.
I'm waiting for something.
So 2 years.
So maybe 2 years.
So
2 years, 3 years.
Cavs.
Boston. They should start themselves out in the East.
Cavs. It's time to get back to the finals.
I still have Pablo there.
Banquero.
We have a lot of storylines written down.
Listen, that guy.
We only wait to see who is coming from the East.
See,
who is coming from the West.
That guy in some years to come. Pablo.
So guys, thank you very much.
The little I want to say is at dawn tomorrow, game 3 in Minnesota, and then Warriors Rockets also. So our viewers should
LBJ, Luka Magic.
They should catch the NBA games.
Ant-Man.
This is where we are separating the men from the boys.
Ant-Man.
And please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. You have to you have to follow us on all platforms. Take us to 1,000 on YouTube. We out.